Opportunity-related questions. So perspectives have a tendency to change over time. This is why it's important to follow up, okay? Perspective changes all the time. What are you going to do after you sell your home? Will you be staying in the area or be leaving town? That's why it's important to follow up. Each week it changes. So, and through that change, other needs need to be met. So will you be looking for another home in the area? How are you going about finding your perfect house? Would you like to use a proactive process that will guarantee you get the home you want? More importantly, want the home you get. The process begins with us sitting down for an hour. Guys, when you're going through this dialogue, what you're trying to establish is now, if you're working with that homeowner as a buyer's agent, you don't even care about their house right now. Why? Because you need to let them experience you. So if you're looking to buy a house, don't talk about their house. Right? So if you go through this process, they'll say, well, we would rather sell first than look. So real estate fee, common question for some owners ask, and typically it's a way the door is open. Once they've said they're willing to pay commission, they were just looking for a little bit of a savings, or they were looking for control as per the usual. So you're asking, are you willing to pay me commission if I bring a buyer? Regardless of the force of owner's response, write the answer at the top of the inventory sheet. Don't be discouraged if the FSBO says no as a response. It's based solely on their perspective that day. Understand it's that day, and perspectives have a tendency to change. If you have a buyer whose criteria matches the home of a FSBO who indicated a home willing to pay, call the FSBO and say, hey, I have a buyer whose criteria matches your home. I noticed in the notes that when I first talked to you, you weren't willing to pay me a commission. Has that changed? Remember, I said consistent business, guys. If you have a buyer, then yeah, it's okay sometimes to go to a for-sale owner like this. Because if you do sell it, then yeah, okay, but it's very rare that that buyer will buy that particular property, perhaps. But if you have them, yeah, ask them, and times will change. If they said no a week ago, sometimes 3 weeks later, they realize, okay, you know what? I can't sell it on my own without a buyer's agent. You know what? I'm willing to pay a buyer's agent. So you should ask them each week. Here's a tracking sheet. Now, what I've always loved about tracking sheets is that, it's funny, technology, sometimes, believe it or not, can really, really get overwhelming. And you just use a pen and paper, okay, it'll really, really help you out. Okay, it'll really, really help you out. So, first and foremost, let's talk about what this tracking sheet looks like. Let's talk about this tracking sheet. So, number one, the attempt. What is the attempt? What is the attempt? Okay, and the attempt is this. You door knock or phone call, not an email, not a snail mail, nothing like that. That's not an attempt. Visits. You visited their house, you face-to-face tour the home, not by phone. That's the visit. That's the visit. Meeting, face-to-face listing conversation. And then lastly, listing is signed and executed agreement. Okay. Remember, empty promises don't count as a listing. Empty promises don't count as a listing. Questions, guys. Now, while you're ready to start asking some questions, I'm going to go over a sample of the 1,000-day follow-up. I'm going to go over a sample of the 1,000-day follow-up. So please put your questions in the box. Just put your questions in the box. So 1,000-day follow-up. Here we go. I'm going to go blast it while you're asking questions. Let me give you a couple examples. Number one, on the phone, by 1,000-day follow-up, I love the phone when talking to the for-sale owner. That's why I would call them every 2 to 3 days. First and foremost, communication measures. I would ask them, number one, when you see the listing, I would ask how do they arrive at the listing description? What are the 5 things that they liked, that what drew them to the house? What sold them on the house? Then when they say, well, I like the school, I like this, I like that. Oh, let me ask you a question. Did you put that in your ad? Oh, no, Mike, I never thought of it. Well, hey, listen, you know, Sally, I'm happy to share with you, because if you ever decided to use a broker, I'd like to be your choice broker. Here's another one. Hey, Sally, I noticed that on your voicemail, it didn't identify you. And, you know, think about this as a consumer. Wouldn't you be a little concerned if you're making such a big investment that this person's the actual owner? My advice to you, as we do as agents, I would say something like this. Hi, my name is Michael Napolitano, and I'm the owner of 123 Main Street. Thank you for calling. Please leave your name and number, and I'll get back to you as soon as I'm able to. Thank you. So, Sally, the reason why I suggest that, and oh, by the way, Sally, I'd suggest using Google products, right? Because you can get a Google Voice number, because that will help you also track those calls. Because sometimes using your regular cell phone, you're not able to track all these calls. And of course, you don't want those people who are calling you, your family members, to hear all this stuff. Perhaps this is going to work better for you, and it's going to make the buyer feel a lot more comfortable. Because the key here is to follow up. And what I mean by follow-up is, yes, you can just depend on the phone calls as you have today, but what if in a month from now you decide to adjust the price for something else that changed with the listing? Don't you want to have their data available to you? Don't you have the data available to you, so this way you can follow up more efficiently in weeks to come? Oh, Mike, that's a great idea. Great. The reason why I share that with you is because you ever decide to use a broker, I'd like to be your choice broker. I'd like to be your choice broker. Now also ask about professional photography. You know, share with them the importance of having at least 25 photos or more. National Association of Realtors says with 25 more or more photos, it sells for faster and for more money. That's another one. So I'm not seeing any questions yet in the box, so I'm going to do 1 or 2 more, and then we are wrapped for today with For Sale by Owners, and this is For Sale by Owner Boot Camp, and then we'll do an advanced one in a couple of weeks. Couple more things I want to mention. The follow-up campaign. Okay, email follow-up. Email follow-up. Okay, tell the homeowner they should also have an email address, like 123mainstreet@gmail.com. 123mainstreet@gmail.com. This will help these folks follow up. Remember, teach them how to sell. Last, when they have their open houses, teach them how you do open houses, right? Tell them you invite the neighbors. Tell them you invite the neighbors. Tell you invite your sphere, your past clients to the house. Let them self-discover what you do as a real estate professional. Share other apps. Box Brownie is another app that people could use to clean up the photos if they're not using professional photography. Share Box Brownie. Let them know. Share apps that you use. Teach them how to sell. Do not be worried. Do not be worried about the fact that they will sell it on their own without you. Don't. Give them the tools necessary. All right, guys. Well, I don't see any questions over here. I hope you found this tremendously valuable. I really do. I enjoyed this topic. It is the key to raising capital at a very, very low cost to you. Do the best you can. Consistency is key. And I look forward to having an advanced FSBO class soon enough. Oh, hey, one more, guys. One more. Here, I just have to say it with video. After you've met them, do a video to say thank you for meeting and send it to them. And if you don't have time, because, oh my gosh, Mike, time. Oh my gosh, Mike, I don't have time to record a video. Record 5 videos and have a system of follow-up. Text them the video, send them it through BombBomb, whatever works for you. Send them a video saying, hey, thank you, Sal. Thank you, Sally. If you don't want to do personalized, hi. I just wanted to share with you one thing that worked for me. Boom, deploy that video. Send them a video. Humanize it. That's the key, guys, humanization. So I want to leave you off with that video piece because I know that this is going to continue to be more and more effective. Record the tips on videos. This way, every time you're going to share a tip, Send a video. Stop sending text messages because it's not humanization, and artificial intelligence could send text messages, right? Send videos. So I'm going to end off right there. I hope you enjoyed this as much as I enjoyed this. I love teaching this class because for sale by owners is help. Expires is just hearing them out and understand where they're coming from. That's the secret in a basic format, and that basic is not easy. Understand that the FSBO needs help, and understand the expires is really just wanting to be heard about their frustrations, about their past experience, and you can be there for both of them. And they are the best way to raise capital without spending a fortune. Time is what you'll invest, and you're going to get paid in dividends if you followed up and work this out. Don't think you need to create this big for sale by owner business. Even if you converted one for sale by owner a month, that's 12 for sale by owners a year. And if you converted them 50% of them, you sold 6 houses. And what did you invest? Your time, not your hard cost, which is the money. So thank you so much, everybody. I hope you enjoy.